Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel, and today we are onwards to Season 3 of the Bleach Anime Returns podcast slash video series that you guys seem to enjoy. For today's part, I have the legend, the Masked Man.
What's up? Appreciate the introduction.
So, Masked Man, just finished reading Bleach, it was, last month, I think, the end, right?
Yeah. It was the end of last month, a week ago, actually. I got done reading Bleach because I had been on it for a few months. I read up to the end of Soul Society, took a little break, read all of the Orankar saga, took a decent break, read Fullbring, took a break, and then Thousand Year Blood War, and yeah.
Yeah, because I remember DMing you through, the entire process of you reading it. When you finished the Ukiora part, I sent you Ukiora's backstory. And I just remember seeing your reactions on Twitter. They were great.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so he has a video kind of discussing it, which was a very good video, by the way. I really enjoyed you discussing it and saying the parts of the series that you did like and all that. Recommending it, even though most people have seen it, to be fair, but I kind of want to start off with this because you are new to Bleach. You didn't grow up around Bleach, or you weren't already on the series for a while. When you were entering Bleach, I know that there was some things you heard about it. Did you genuinely think it might fall off? Because I know you talked a lot on Twitter, about how Bleach didn't fall off and stuff like that.
Right. So when I started the channel, Bleach was always something that I had kind of known about, but there wasn't much discussion around it. And then once I finally got on Twitter, which the only reason I'm still on there is because of business, but it's one of those things, and I got to really see the talk surrounding Bleach, and a good amount of it being pretty negative. There were plenty of people who appreciated it, but for the most part, it was always how Bleach was the worst out of the big three, how it's miles below the big three. And I mean, opinions are opinions, it's cool, but I definitely disagree. I think all of the big three are pretty close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
But then other notions that I heard a lot, Bleach falls off after Soul Society, and it has a horrible ending. So there are things that everybody says about certain series, that depending on how you feel once you read it, you could agree or disagree. And I found a lot of things that I saw being said about Bleach. It's one of those things, especially the Bleach falls off after Soul Society. It's one of those unwritten rules, it feels in the anime community. Sword Art Online is trash. Things that people just seem to repeat, and they just do it without watching or reading it. Although that's not always the argument I'd resort to. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of people who've read all of Bleach and seen the anime, who would maybe not be super fond of it. I actually tried the anime my first time. I got to episode 10 and dropped it, and manga definitely the way to go for me.
Have you heard what Kubo said about the anime?
No, I don't.
So Kubo, basically, he was watching some of the anime, and he said this is me abbreviating what he said pretty much. Basically, he said that the anime was so bad and they got so much wrong in it that it made him feel so sick that he wanted to throw up. Yeah.
That's important.
So out of the final arc, we'll just grab that. Thousand Year Blood War, how the anime is coming back. What's one moment that you I know you like the Unohana fight, but what's one moment?
Kenpachi versus Grammy. Or no,
okay.
Kenpachi versus, I forget his name, but the giant that kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then Kenpachi has his absolute beast mode, his red skin mode, basically, right?
Yeah, his Bankai.
Yeah, his Bankai. Bro, when I found out that the whole time Kenpachi wasn't using his Bankai, I was for me, I think Kenpachi's one of the best examples of a badass character and building up a character. And One Piece gets a lot of credit for this, Naruto gets some credit for this, and it's the author building up to certain things, right? Playing in characters who won't fulfill their entire potential or won't play their biggest role until way later on in the story, right?
Yeah.
Kenpachi, I thought he peaked at Soul Society. Like I genuinely thought like that was going to be Kenpachi, and then the rest of it he's just going to be a side character that doesn't know. Kubo utilized Kenpachi to his fullest extent, and I loved it. So Kenpachi using his Bankai for the first time is definitely the moment I'm looking forward to.
That was a go-to moment. I love that moment. Gremmy is another great one. I think Kenpachi's a great character. I know from your Dark, I think it was your Dark Souls. No, it was your protagonist video. You talked about how your favorite kinds of characters are the ones that are well written, but still like angry and stuff like that.
Like anger is one of the main emotions that you would associate with them.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I like the calm collective, maybe the calm psychopaths in the corner, you know, laughing secretly and collectively planning, which is what makes Gin and Aizen my two favorite characters in Bleach.
Right.
But
speaking of Aizen, did you hear about? I don't want to get into it, but did you hear about the thing that happened recently with Aizen? Apparently,
it's
not
Aizen
as in Bleach. No. I'm not talking about Aizen. I'm talking about like real life Aizen.
You're talking about. Give me a sec. So Ichigo Kurosaki, I appeared to you as a 20-year-old.
Yeah. Oh man. Bro, when I saw that, I was like, there's no way, bro. Moving on, though.
Yeah.
I am a fan of stoic, gone angry characters when they're done well, just because, like, it's something I can relate to a good bit. But Gremmy's a dope character. Bazby was great as well. I really like Bazby. I forget his name just because of how weird it is. It starts with a J, though. It was Bazby's best friend.
Hugrim.
How do you pronounce it?
Hugrim.
It's Hugrim? How's it spelled?
J.
Okay, so it does start with J. Okay, okay.
It's weird because it's like German, I think. I don't know. I'm gonna get crucified in the comments because I'm sure the issue with Bleach and pronunciation is like everybody disagrees with the Sternwriter's pronunciation. Like
and then there's like Yuha, you watch like all that stuff, right?
There's a lot. I think I said it in your VC last night. I was like, I really hope in the anime they have like each character pronouncing Yubak differently. Like, that'd be hilarious.
That'd be dope.
But yeah, I do.
All of that was dope though.
Yeah, I do agree with like the Kenpachi versus Gremlin might be one of my like most anticipated moments. Not because of the fight itself, because I love the fight, but there's a lot of moments that outshine it for me personally in the series.
Right.
Just because of the potential that it has when being animated. It's Yeah, it's the same thing as the Asnot moments. Like there's so much potential to add content in the anime for the Asnot.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to as well, like Yamamoto versus Yuha. That was a dope fight. But what I'm actually really looking forward to is, I think overall, even though I think they were fine, and it makes sense that they got washed considering it's Yuha, and I think the final member of Squad Zero put up a really good fight. I have some issues with Squad Zero here and there. You know, it's like, you know, when Soul Society was kind of getting invaded, they didn't do nothing, and it's like, you know, like, okay. But, you know, it's whatever. I think the anime will really help make their impact be felt more, because the pacing won't be as fast. It's going to slow it down a little, you know. I think it's going to give more weight to each fight a member of, or the fight and confrontation Squad Zero has with Yuha, and the time they spend actually in the story, you know. I will say, though, that Squad Zero, for the most part, is a lot less memorable than the captains that were already previously established. But I would say that's also because the captains have the benefit of the doubt of already being in previous arcs, you know, repeatedly. So, I do think the anime will help that. So I'm looking forward to see them maybe fix up Squad Zero a little bit. And music, I'm really excited to see. I'm really excited to see the music, and the sound. We'll hear the music, for 1,000 Year Blood War arc. Especially like the scene when Aizen comes back.
Oh my gosh, that scene is so great. We just have Aizen saying, "Welcome to my Soul Society." But yeah, I agree with your.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Continue.
But as the series like kind of continues with the whole Squad Zero thing, when I was reading that, I genuinely thought that Kubo, and I talked about this with Mr. Tomo. He's another Bleach content creator. I felt like Kubo was planning to do this. I don't have any confirmation that he was, but we do know that he was sick at the time, so he was rushing some things. I almost felt like each Squad Zero member should have gone in a 1v1 with one of the Schutzstaffel. Because, like, we got this whole new dimension almost, place called the Soul Palace introduced to us, with so many different, like, floating islands around it, to where, like, a Schutzstaffel could hunt down a single, Squad Zero member each. And they could each have their big fight. And then Kubo could have given us, like, 5 chapters at least to each Schutzstaffel. And, well, to each Squad Zero member. Do you, like, prefer the Kenpachi Bankai moment to, like, Kenpachi versus Unohana? Or, like, what's your favorite Kenpachi fight?
I think the Unohana fight could have been a bit longer, even though I loved what it did for Kenpachi's character. But I think Kenpachi versus Gremmy, just because of how mind-blowingly insane it is,
Yeah.
So I definitely have to go with that. I definitely would have to go with that.
Mm-hmm. I think as a fight for Kenpachi's character, like his perspective, the Gremmy one is fair. As a fight in all, I prefer the Unohana one because it also builds off Unohana's character. But like with Kenpachi's personality and love for fighting, after he unlocks his potential, him fighting somebody who's basically Aizen's Kyoku Sugetsu, except it becomes reality, is insane. But yeah, it's a great fight, and I think the anime team they can make that fight like 4 episodes and I wouldn't care, because there's just so much you can add there. But overall, yeah. So Kenpachi's your like favorite like good character. What's your favorite villain?
In all of Bleach?
Yeah.
Man, that's tough. I think lightning in a bottle, and honest, can I say this? I love Grimmjow. I think he's cool, but I don't think Grimmjow is on the same level as Ulquiorra. I have Ulquiorra like a tier above Grimmjow, if not a few spots above. Grimmjow's really cool, but like Ulquiorra is so beautifully written, like nihilism embodied as a person. Like I don't believe what I don't see, and then like he like he says to Orihime, like, what if I like ripped open your chest? Like, what is a heart? Like, he doesn't believe in emotion, and he doesn't demonstrate it. Like, everything is nothing to him, right? And then at the end, like, he goes off, like, the way he, like, dies. It was just, that was beautiful. And then his fight with Ichigo as well is one of the best in the entire series. Like, I think Ulquiorra, from when he's presented to how he ended, for me, is the best in the series. Although, you could definitely give it a, like, Aizen, of course.
Yeah.
But for me, I love characters with like a thematic beauty to them, like them being the literal representation of what their emotion is, kind of, and with that, Ulquiorra is like one of the better representations of, I think, nihilism and nothing means nothing, or everything nothing to you in medium, other than like Johan from Monster, which is very good company. Now, although I wouldn't have him in the same tier, but I think Ulquiorra is a great antagonist.
Yeah, for sure. I think that a lot of the characters inside of I think the best part of the Espada is they're each this embodiment of one aspect. Madness for Xyloporal Grands, they're aspects of death, pretty much. Even Aranero, a character that gets such limited screen time, and in all actuality isn't that interesting. His whole aspect with greed and that being his downfall, how he's like so infatuated with causing other people pain, trying to like torture them almost, was interesting to say the least. Like it makes them at least not mid antagonists, if you know what I mean. Like even the bottom of the barrel antagonists in terms of the Espada are like decent at the very least, I think that's what I love about them. But to kind of dig in like one last part about 1,000 Year Blood War before we kind of move on to maybe some of the implications of the one shot, what is, like, not including Kenpachi, like what are your like top 5 favorite characters in 1,000 Year Blood War?
Okay, in 1,000 Year Blood War,
yeah,
I would have to say in 1,000 Year Blood War. Can I say Ichigo, or can I not? Because like Ichigo,
I think you can say Ichigo. I mean, he gets his entire origin story.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Ichigo's origin story is so good. Like, the way that was all built up, and then the way that he flashed back to earlier panels to show how he was slowly building it up, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I love that about Kubo, is like, you do have to read in between the lines, and you got to pay attention because he loves to be subtle, and I appreciate that a lot because he doesn't treat the audience like an idiot, right?
Yeah.
At least when it comes to, like, that kind of build-up, when it comes to backstories and overarching things. Now, when it comes to the fights, because of how abstract the powers are, they do get kind of spoon-fed, like, oh, this is what my ability does. So it's really weird how Bleach does that, right? Like, the fights, like, are really spoon-fed to you, but the actual, like, planning of the plot is really subtle. So it's like a weird combination. But
the themes and the story is so subtle.
Right.
But like, the actual fights are spoon-fed to you.
They spell it out to you, yeah.
Yeah.
So Ichigo is in there easily. Like I said, Kenpachi's in there. I think Gremmy was cool. Toshido got his ass whooped for the majority of it, and then had like a cool. I think Mayuri was pretty cool. Yoruichi had a cool moment as well, but I don't know if I would. Basby would be in there. What's his name? Yugon again? Fucking
Hugrim.
Hugrim. Jeez. He's in there as well, and maybe Yamamoto because of the beginning. But that's tough to say, although I might give it to Toshido because he had a really cool form, although he did get violated so many times beforehand. Yeah. You know, actually, I would have given it to Byakuya, and this hurts me because someone had to tell me, like, about how Kubo was basically, like, bullied into writing Byakuya back into the story because of the fan reaction.
I do want to quickly say something. That it's not confirmed that that's the case. But
okay.
He did die, and when he died, Kubo received death threats. And later on, Kubo gave a warning to every mangaka. Like, I don't know if it was right after the situation or if it was later on, I can't remember. But Kubo gave a warning to other mangakas not to listen to social media to influence your story, because it will influence your story.
Right, exactly, yeah. And I thought the way Byakuya went out was so great, and that... Yeah. I think that moment being taken away is a bit of a shame. Yeah. It really is a bit of a shame.
The moment still feels so great because you see this man that just throws his pride on the ground crying because he thinks he's going to die. But because he isn't killed, it almost feels like it's been taken away from you. I would have been fine if he had lived. I just wish he was at least crippled or something, you know? At least something of value was taken there to where the moment still had like that everlasting impact. Like, I still love that moment. It's still probably top 10 moments in the series for me. But still, it's still somewhat tough. So 1,000 Year Blood War is like your favorite arc. And we kind of talked about that. What do you think of like Shinsui?
Shinsui, thank you. Oh, that would be another character. I knew I was forgetting somebody. I would totally want to have his Zanpakuto and Bankai, by the way. Totally. Hot. But no, yeah, Shinsui was dope as well. Yeah.
Would you go out with a drink? Ability. Would you have a drink with Shinsui?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shinsui's just that type of character where although I can't drink right now, I'd have apple juice with or something. I don't know. Like,
right.
I'd love to just sit down and have a conversation with that guy. Like, that guy feels like the perfect guy to like be serious when you have to be serious and be comedical when you have to be comedical, you know?
Right.
But yeah. So moving past 1,000 Year Blood War and that arc as a whole, what did you think about the one shot?
I thought it was solid. I thought the one shot was pretty cool. There's a lot more questions than answers, honestly, I have for it. You know, because of the introduction of all the new characters and all that stuff. And it's oh man, like, it's hard to say, you know, because it's really like opened the doors again. So I don't even know where I'd start.
Yeah. What did you think about the whole twist with the hell butterflies?
Dope. I thought that was dope.
Not the best way to end a one shot off on, but so we know that the captains are going to hell. Do you think all the Espadas are in hell?
That's possible, and that'd be insane if that was the case. Like, if Ulquiorra came back or something, I'd lose it.
Yeah, it would be really cool to get like a Grimmjow versus Ulquiorra fight, you know? That'd be so sick. I feel like that would be like the perfect fight that I'd want to see against Tukiora. I don't think they are, mostly because who did the ritual for the Espadas in that case, you know? And then also with the fact as we know that Grands went to we know that when they die from this Zanpakuto, they get cleansed and they get sent to the Soul Society, you know? And Grands, we know he went to hell because of his backstory that's revealed inside the light novels. Speaking of which, are you gonna ever plan to read Camp for Your Own World or Spirits Are Forever with You one day?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I plan on it, but
Yeah, they're
can't
really,
say
really,
when.
yeah, they're really, really good. They tie a lot of the story and lore together. If you liked the Squad Zero, they're involved in it. It expands the Fullbringers a crap ton. It expands the politics of the Soul Society a lot, so you might find that interesting with what you enjoy and stuff like that. And yeah, so that's gonna be the end of today's video. Now, if you guys enjoyed the video, check out the Masked Man. Great content, almost at 200k subs. Drop a subscription on his channel. If you guys enjoyed today's video, you can drop a like, drop a comment on your thoughts on the one shot and any 1000 Year Blood War, or any of our thoughts that we listed inside today's video. I know the masked man says this, but I also agree. Anyone's opinions is just an opinion. No opinion's higher than another person. If you believe that, say,
Right.
Byakuya should have lived, then more power to you. But anyway, without all further ado, in the words of Ginichimaru,